What's going on, good people? Happy Saturday to each and every one of you guys. I was looking at some things. It was like it is Small Business Saturday. So I wanted to hop on and just share with you guys. Y'all know if you've been rocking with me, I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If this is your first time coming in, don't let it be your last. You're welcome once, twice, three times. You are welcome. If you are watching a replay, simply put the word replay in the comment bar so I know that you came and checked me out. But we live and in color right now, and we live and loud too. Y'all, I'm going to tell you now, just excuse my background if you hear small voices because I got two of the most active children in the house on today. So want to say what up though to each and every one of y'all. Look, because this is Small Business Saturday, if you have a business, put it in the comment bar. I also want to tell you guys too, if you see anybody commenting from Nikita B and they telling you you won a prize, they telling you that you won, or they're congratulating you and all that other foolishness, it's not me, guys. Please report the page. Please report the page because it's not me. Okay? My head is spinning. Yes, honey, these kids here. Awesome. Look, so I'm getting ready to give you guys a test too. I'm going to give you guys a test too, right? Because if you are in business, right, then you should be able to answer the questions that I ask you without this is what I tell people. If you have to say and twice, you talking too much. You saying too much. You're going to lose the people. Always, whenever you on a platform like this, always be able and available and ready to have, like, they call them an elevator pitch, right? Boom. Miss JSC1, she said custom greeting cards, right? What's up, my kid? Hey, I need to get me a shirt. I want to go all the way. You understand? Like that's what I want. Look, y'all putting y'all links in there. That ain't what I asked y'all. I said, what kind of business do you have? Because guess what? Whenever you asking somebody, when somebody's asking about business, they asking you what you do. They not trying to click a link to go and see. They not trying to click a link and go and see. People lazy by nature. They just are. They're not trying to do all of that. And a person who knows what they want and they know what they're looking for, follow me, when a person know what they want and they know what they're looking for, whenever you say what it is that you do, automatically they're tuned in or tuned out. They're tuned in if you offering something they want. They tuned out if you're doing too much. They was like, nah, I don't even know. And guess what? If you're not clear, they'll tune out too. They'll tune out too. So right now, right, I want you to put in the comment bar what type of business you have. What do you do in business? Boom. Keisha's like life insurance. You see it. What is a health and wellness business? They 11 types of health and wellness business. What is yours? You feel what I'm saying? Like, you got to be super clear. So, guys, it's a 3-step process, right? The 3-step process. So, Ivy, you said you got a baking business and a jewelry business. 9 times out of 10, if a person's coming to you for one or the other, they're not interested in the both. So which one are you going to lead with? We're going to talk about that. You have to lead with something, and you can always add or seed in other things. You feel what I'm saying? You have to lead with something, though. When y'all get out here and you tell me, I'm going to use myself for an example because I don't want nobody to think I'm picking on you or none of that, right? So, for instance, if I get out there and I tell people, people don't know, everybody don't know what TLC wellness business is. So you got to reword that too. I'm going to help y'all work through this thing. Clothing business for who? For infants, for slim people, for tall people, for thick people, for like what? And let me tell you this. If you say for everybody, Yeah, your business gonna stay small. It's gonna stay real small. Whatever that word is in chemistry that means smaller than small, that's what your business gonna be. So anyway, if I came to you, right, and you was like, what do you do? Well, I'm a nurse consultant. I help long-term care facilities get their nursing department situated, but I also help nurse leaders who want to go into management. If they haven't been in management before, I help them do that. I'm a comedian and a public speaker. I also help people build their social media presence. I help them gain clarity in their business, and baby, by the second and third and I done got on your nerves. Oh, and then at the end of it, they're gonna be like, and you doing too much. Okay? You and all of your ands. You're doing too much. Okay? And it's not to say that you can't do all of what you do, because you know we got serial entrepreneurs. Well, congratulations to the ones who like cereal, but I eat grits. I don't do cereal, right? But anyway, what I'm saying is this: that's not for everybody. If you can be consistent in the one thing that's going to build you up, grow you, and expand you, you can always add something else. I love using for an example Patti LaBelle, right? Patty out here singing, running across stage, skedaddling, kicking off shoes, sending people over the rainbow, all of this stuff. People loved her for her music. They loved her for being amazing. They loved her for her voice, right? Boom. Patty came out with them pies, honey. People lost their mind. But guess what? If Patty hadn't skedaddled and skadoodled and kicked off shoes and yelled and screeched and sent us over the rainbow, wouldn't nobody care nothing about Patty's pies, because your grandma Lulabelle, her pies busting. My grandma Shirley, she can make a mean pie. You understand what I'm saying? But you know why people got into it? You know why hers went off the rack? Because people knew her. Not only did they know her, they liked her. Not only did they like her, they trusted her. You feel what I'm saying? So those are the 3 steps that you have to have too, and that you got to go through too. It does not matter how well you can be hood famous. Your family can love you. The community can love you. Everybody can love you, honey. Everybody love you. But the people who gonna pay you. Hello. Everybody love you. Except for the people you want to send an invoice to, a Cash App request to, a PayPal link to, a Stripe link to. Huh? You got ones that want to have conversation, but baby, we want to have conversion. We want to convert this thing. We want to be able to build up. We want to be able to build not only momentum, but money as well. Guys, listen to me. I had, how many people I had at the time? I might have had like 300,000 Facebook followers. 300,000 Facebook followers. I wasn't making no money off social media. I'm over 600,000 now. But guess what? I learned what to do. I learned how to monetize my platform. So don't get it twisted. You can have people out here with 50 lamb followers. I mean, they got them out the Zahunta. And they cannot be making one dime for it. You can have somebody with 1,200 followers. And they beasting it. Right? Why? It's a big difference. Because, and I ain't talking about monetizing though, because when you monetize social media, you got to have a certain number of followers before you can even initiate the process. But that ain't what we're talking about right now, right? I'm talking about the things you can do right where you are. I'm talking about the things that you can do using what you already have. What's up, Avery? I'm talking about the things that you're not doing that you have to do if you want to continue to build the business that you love, right? So, boom, the 3-step process. Somebody write the word no. Somebody write the word no. I mean K-N-O-W, not N-O, because you're going to get a lot of those too. You can get a lot of no's. You're going to get a whole lot of no's, and some of the no's might be aggressive. They might put other words in front of it. Put K-N-O-W. There we go, Mary. Thank you. There we go. So check it out, right? The people have to know you guys. If you are somebody who is selling a product You are somebody who has a service. If people do not know you, they don't give a darn about your product. They don't care about your service. They don't care about none of that. I'm sorry for it sounding like a rat in a bag.
I'm sorry.
They got to know you. You hear me? Nikita, well, I don't want nobody to know all my business. You talking about the wrong kind of knowing. I ain't telling people that they got to know what kind of living room suit you got. They got to know where you live at. They got to know. Nah, that ain't what I'm talking about. They have to know that you know what the world you talking about. They have to know that you understand the process. They have to know that you have had success in what you're talking about. They have to know that you have helped somebody else in the area that you're talking about. As my grandma say, they got to know that you done help somebody. If they don't know this, they're not going to be fooling with you. What's going on, Rick? Rick on here, Terrence.
Yeah, Rick, I said, what's up?
What's up, my friend? They got to know these things. They have to know that you're going to show up. They have to know that what you do well. And this is the thing, guys. A lot of y'all look at it and y'all think, I got to outdo the other person. I got to show up. Well, you do have to show up. You do have to do different. You don't have to outdo. You have to do different. So I tell people that this right here is a gem for you, right? This is a tip with that no factor. You need to lead with what other people are lacking. When you look at what it is that you're doing, you look and see what other people are doing. You see how they popping off. You see how they show up. You see what they provide. You look at that and then you figure out what are they not doing that you can do. And then you lead with that and people will get to know you because you're different than the other people. Right? Nikki, don't put your link in here. You must not be in here in the beginning, or either you just ignore me. It's one or the other. So you got to learn to listen to. So you got to know. You feel me? You have to know what a person is doing. You have to know what solution you provide. What problem do you solve? You are the aspirin to somebody's pain. What are their pain points? You have to know your audience. You have to know your audience. What do they desire? A lot of times what you guys do is something you really want. It's something you want to put out there. It's something you feel like they should have, but it's not what they want. I don't care how much you like it. I don't care how beneficial you think it is. At the end of the day, if they don't want it, they ain't going to get it. Right? So if I know for a fact that a person can increase their social media following by being consistent, showing up at the same time in the same days or whatever, and showing up consistently, going on and going live, and I tell them this is the strategy you need to do. You need to pick out, and you guys can pick up the strategy if you want to. I'm just throwing it out there, but I'm going to give you an example. If you want to be in your social media following, this is what you need to do. You have to be consistent. You have to say, okay, I'm going to go on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6 o'clock. Every Tuesday, every Thursday at 6 o'clock. You got to show up and you got to go on. You got to have content that they want to hear. You got to show them things that they want to see. And in between you going live those 2 days a week, you got to show up every day. Rather you showing up and you just putting a meme up there, rather you're asking a question, rather you're doing a poll, rather whatever it is, you got to have continuous, consistent engagement with your people in order for you to start building up your social media platform. Why? Because they're getting to know you. They're going to get to know you by listening to you, by seeing you, by hearing you, by following you. Okay, you got to tell people what you want them to do. Comment, like, and share. People know, okay, it's good. Let me go ahead and comment. Let me like this. Let me share this with other people. Or you on there and you tell them, don't forget to share this out, y'all. Tag 3 friends. You got to give people instructions. People want to help you. They want to help you move forward, but sometimes they don't know what to do. Consistency. I'm telling you, consistency. You making sure that you comment. You making sure that you share. You making sure that you show up and you having content, right? But check it out. If I came to you and I told you, that I'm doing a class to show you how to be consistent on social media. Some of you might be like, okay, I don't know. But if I came on there and I told you that I'm coming on and I'm showing you how to build your social media following. If I tell you, I'm showing you how to get your followers to become paying customers. Boom, you're gonna be in it. Why? Because I spoke to something that you wanted. A lot of y'all don't want to be consistent. So when somebody say the word consistent, it turns you off. But if I know that what you want is to convert your followers to paying customers, if I know that what you want is to build your social media following, that is what I'm going to present to you. Now, in my mind, I know the way that you're going to do this and the way that you can get this done is by being consistent. That's what I'm going to teach you. I'm going to teach you the strategies of being consistent. I'm going to teach you the strategies of showing up. I'm going to teach you how to be present, even if it's not your face, if it's just your voice, if it's you sharing me. I'm going to teach you the process. You feel what I'm saying? But if you don't get to know me first, you don't want to know. Number one, you don't think that I know what I'm talking about. So you got to get to know me. I have to get to know you, right? And the way that you get to know your audience is you go where they are. Nikita, how am I going to go where my audience is? Because this is another tip for you if you are in business. If you're in business and you're on social media, you need to have a business page, period. You need to have a business page because it's going to give you information to allow you to be able to see things differently than on a personal page. You'll be able to go to your insights. When you go to your insights, baby, it's going to tell you the age of the people who follow you. It's going to tell you the gender of the people who follow you. And if you're on Facebook, baby, it'll even tell you some things about where they shop. It'll tell you about the household income and all that kind of stuff. So in your mind, here you are, you thinking that you're able to connect. I connect with people that's, 20 to 30 years old. Then when you go and you look at your insights, they tell you that your biggest following is between the ages of 35 and 50. So whenever you identify that your people are between the ages of 35 and 50, now you understand why nobody's really clicking on your stuff the way that you want them to. Now you understand why the people that you want to serve, why they not rocking with you. It's because you're speaking a language that does not resonate with them. You're resonating with the people who are in the 35 years old or older to 50, right? That's who you resonating to. You have to change your language. You have to change your verbiage. You have to change the way that you speak on social media, change the way that you show up on social media for you to be able to attract those other ones that you want to get to know, that you want them to know you. It's really that simple. Then on top of it, you keep on going through, right? You trying to get you in that no phase. Y'all dating. Y'all don't go together yet. Y'all just dating, trying to see how much you like them. Right. I'm trying to see if I can rock with you. If your conversation is nice, if you treat me nice, if you give me nice things. That's the same way you have to do whenever you're in business and you getting to know people. You gotta have a good conversation. That means you gotta talk about things that interest them. You gotta treat them nice. That means when they come on, you telling them, hey, thank you for joining. You telling them, hey, chocolate kisses, hey, Beverly, hey, Renee, hey, T. Lynn, hey, the boss lady, Lavonda, hey, you know what I mean? You treat them nice. You let them know, I see you, Suge. Thank you for coming on. Whenever you get on, you're not doing that foolish mess. Y'all, we're going to give it a few more minutes. We're going to wait, let the numbers come up. We're going to wait and let about 50 more people come on. Or y'all, I see y'all coming in. Thank y'all for coming and all of this other kind of stuff. And what are you saying to the people who came early? What are you saying to the people who came on time? What are you saying to the people who there? Oh, I appreciate y'all being here, but you know what I'm saying? I'm waiting on the other ones. I'm waiting on the ones who really ain't gonna do anything for you anyway. They already showing up late to social media. You think that you're gonna be able to depend on them to be consistent with you and your brand? No. You take care of those who take care of you. You take care of those who take care of you. Right? You got to treat them nice. Then you got to give them things. It is huge, 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 huge for you to have something that you can give to somebody else. You will hear people say that, you don't have to give away nothing free and you don't have to do this and you don't have to do that. Everybody has a different technique. I never speak against somebody else's technique because that could have worked for them. But what I do is I tell you what worked for me. And if I've never tried it, I'm not going to lie to you and tell you that I have just to have something to say. It's not who I am. But what I do know is this. If a person can experience you for free, then when you do have something to give them, when you do want to share more with them, they are not afraid to invest in you because they know if she or he gives this type of stuff for free, I know good and well when I put money on it, it's going to be some good stuff. Right? And when I say free, it doesn't mean because it's free, it has to be raggedy or it has to be of low quality or it's not really good substance. That's not what I'm talking about. That's not what I'm talking about. They got to get to know you. Then they'll also get to know you by knowing other people that you've helped, knowing other people who you've done business with, knowing other if you do makeup or whatever. Guess what? They gonna you showing faces that you've done. You showing before and after. If you selling clothes, you're gonna show people in your stuff. You might even show people trying it on. You showing people in different settings with it on. They need to know what it looks like on somebody else. You holding it up, showing somebody, that's not showing them anything. People have the illusion that they can fit in stuff until they get it. Then they gonna put it on and they gonna act like it's your clothes' fault that their body can't fit into it. Not so. Not so. Right? You got to have testimonials. People have to know you in that way. You have to know your people in that way so that you can be able to answer to the problems that they have, to the pain points that they have, to the things that they need answers to. You are somebody's answer. You are the solution to somebody's problem. Period. You have to know that. Then we go to number 2. Who is it? Hi. Did your grandpa lock you out? Oh, he did? Well, I'm live, baby. I'm sorry. Number 2. You better stop. Y'all hear them kids trying to break in here? Number 2. Babe, can you unlock the door for these kids? Right, because they not going to do right. They knocking on doors. They. And here they go. Look, listen. Thank you, Papa. He the one that locked them out. And whenever you're doing your business, you own and you're doing your business content and you teaching people and you helping people, don't do what I'm doing right now. Answering the door for wild children, hollering in the bathroom, asking your husband to unlock the door and stuff. Like, don't do that. Whenever you set your time to go live and do whatever it is that you're doing, you need to make sure that you're in a quiet spot so you can give the people the attention that they need. I'm just trying to help y'all on today, right? But if you notice, put that back. No. Sorry, y'all. Yeah, no. You knew it was wrong before you did it. If your conscience don't condemn you, neither will I, little boy. I don't care if you ain't but one. So the thing about it is this though, right? Look at the little girl though.
Elena, stop.
And then she gonna shrug her shoulder like she don't care. They act like that when they have beads in their head, y'all. Y'all just need to put barrettes in these babies' hair and look bows that clamp at the end. Don't even put the beads in there. They lose their mind. You hear me? They lose their mind when they have the beads in their head. It's a different personality. So what I'm telling y'all is this though. If you notice, when I'm really going in and I'm teaching, training, or doing whatever, and I want to have that time to you guys, I be upstairs in my studio. I make sure that I'm in a place where I can share with y'all. I'm in a place where I can break things down for y'all. I can answer your question, and I can give you my undivided attention. Okay, so it's just small things, but it means a lot, right? So we went into the know factor. Now let's get to like. Let's get to like. Somebody type the word like in the comment bar. Type the word like in the comment bar. Guys, while y'all typing that word, check it out now. A lot of y'all not even doing what y'all need to do because you're afraid to go to that next level. You're afraid to do the thing that you really desire to do. You're afraid to put your foot on the gas. So because of that, you're becoming stuck. I told you guys about the top 7 fears, and I told you about not understanding the things you need to do in order to break that cycle. I do have a 7-day series of how to beat the F out of fear, right? I have a 7-day series. It's going to provide you with a daily video lesson. It's going to provide you with daily content. It's going to provide you with action steps for you to take for each of the ones that we address. It comes with a workbook and it comes with follow up and all of that good stuff. And you're going to have this 7-day series that I usually sell for $197. You guys can get it for $47. You guys can get it. Stop. Put it back. Put it back. You guys can get it for 47 bucks. That's it. So you need to go ahead and copy a copy. You need to go ahead and go through the series. You need to go ahead and make it do what it do. And what I'm going to do to make it even better is for the ones who do get the the series, right? The ones who get the series, I'm going to make sure that I have a live interaction with those who purchase. I'll be able to email each one of you guys and let you know that we're going to have a private training so that you can come in, you can ask questions. I can help you get unstuck if you're stuck in a certain area and all of that other stuff or whatever. But I do believe that fear is one of the main reasons why people do not move forward. Even after I give you all the information that I'm giving you, you will still sit there, you'll still ponder, you'll still overthink, you'll still talk yourself out of it, you'll still feel like, well, I don't know, and I'm trying, and I'm blah, blah, blah. I've been there. I've been there. If you're on Instagram, you can click the link that's in my bio. And thank you, Averill. Averill, put the link in the comment box so I can pin it, sis. Do the bit.do/no fear, but the N is capital. Bit.do/no fear, the N is capital. If you're on Instagram, just click the link in my bio and you will see the 7-day series, right? But guys, I'm telling you, we have the fear of failure. You have the fear of rejection. You have the these kids. You have the fear of failure. You have the fear of rejection. You have the fear of the unknown. You have the fear of success, fear of not having support, fear of your past, and fear of not being enough. Right? So the thing about it is this. Those are the 7 major fears. Whatever other fear you may have, I guarantee you is going to fall underneath one of those brackets. And because fear and faith cannot reside in the same place at the same time, then there you have it, right? So just go copy a copy of that so that you'll be able to move forward with what it. Hey, Lips. Hey, baby. How are you? So that you'll be able to move forward in what it is that you're doing. So we went over the first step. That first step, they got to know you, baby. They have to know you, right? They have to know you. Right? So then the second step is this. Like. They got to like you. You can play them games if you want to and feel like, well, it don't matter if they like me or not. The people who want me, they'll want me. The people who for me, they'll be for me. Boo! That is the most foolish thing that you ever need to say to yourself. Happy Thanksgiving to you too, baby. That's the most foolish thing that you can say to yourself whenever you're doing business. A lot of times people, they feel the way that they do, and you take offense to it. Instead of taking offense to it, I need you to take inventory. I need you to listen. I need you to understand why people feel the way that they feel. Because a lot of times they can be feeling the way about you just because they got the wrong impression. They may have seen you on a day that you were not at your best. They have to like you. Nikita, how are they going to get to like me? You have to have your own personality. You have to have your own personality. When I used to have people that would tell me, first of all, they thought that the way that I speak, the way that I enunciate my words, the way that I sound, they thought that I was doing it. Thanks, sis. They thought that I was doing it for, I guess, for content. Nah, I'm country just like this. The art of transparency. Thank you for your purchase. I'm country just like this. I'm good and Southern. But a lot of times people equate being Southern to being ignorant. Or they feel like because you enunciate your words a certain way, you probably can't spell them. They feel like because you got this country draw or the Southern draw, you don't know what you're talking about. So I use it for my advantage. I would get on I would cut up. I would, y'all already know humor is the foundation of what I do. So I'm gonna make sure I make you laugh. I'm upbeat. I'm a loving and caring person. I'm gonna encourage and motivate you. I'm gonna make you laugh. It is my brand personality, but it's my brand personality because it's my personality. A lot of you guys, you take your personality away from your business because, well, I want to make sure that I show up this way and I want to make sure I do this way. But guess what? When you perpetrate the fraud, when you show up in a way that's not true to yourself, your audience can feel it. And when your audience feel like you holding something back, or your audience feel like you're not being authentic to who you are, in their mind, they don't like you because it's something about her. It's something about him. You follow me? So rather I'm on here encouraging, motivating y'all, cutting up or any of that stuff, guess what? I'm still the same person. If I get on here, I'm here to train y'all, to teach y'all, to build you up, to give you information. I'm still the same person. Now I may not cut up as much because it's the time for all things, but at the end of the day, you still get off knowing that I love you. You get off knowing that I'm here to encourage and motivate you. You get off having some content and some tips that you can implement. It's the same way for your business. They gotta like you. How they gonna get to like you even more? Bring them in your world. Show them some things behind the scene. Show them some things what you setting up and you building. Show them some small snippets of when things ain't going as amazing. I'm telling you, that makes people draw into you because they feel like, you know what? She's showing up or he's showing up. Oh, I liked it when you shared that about that because I was thinking I was the only one. People need to know that they're never alone. People need to know that you too have things that you go through. You don't have to tell all of your business, though. Let's be all the way clear. You do not have to tell all of your business. But it is important for you to allow people to see your personality so that they can get to know you. They'll like you. Then the last one is trust. What is that? Jatana Cloud? Thank you for your purchase, Shug. Put the word trust in the comment bar. Treasure seals. Don't put stuff like that in my comment bar because I'm telling you I'm gonna ignore you. If you stranded somewhere and you want somebody to cash app you, we don't know you. Now I don't like you and I darn sure don't trust you. I just told y'all the 3 things people gotta know. Trust. Thank you for putting that because now you just gave them an example of why people won't buy from you, why people won't why they won't follow you, why they won't share your stuff, why they won't do things. If the first thing you're going to do to people who don't even know you yet is to ask them for something or like give, buy my stuff and things like that, it's a turn off. They're not going to do it. Period. They're not going to do it. They have to trust you. Nikita, how can I build trust with my audience? I'm glad you asked. 3 ways you can build trust with your audience. You can build it through being clear. A confused mind does absolutely nothing. If you don't know what you're doing, and your audience darn sure ain't gonna trust you. If you get on there, you all over the place, they not gonna follow you in your dysfunction. They trying to find some kind of standard for themselves. So because they trying to find some standards for themselves, they trying to build trust with somebody that they can learn and glean from. They need you to be clear. You need to have clarity in whatever it is that you're doing. Period. You got to be clear. It's the 3 C's that allows you to build trust. You have to be clear. Know who you are, know what you do, know what you offer, and know who you offer it to. So you got to know who you are. Who are you as a person? Who are you as a brand? Who do you serve? Who needs what you have? How do you serve them? What is your product? What is your service? You have to be very clear on those things. That's why I tell you guys, when you get on there and you tell people, I do this and this and this, and you get past that second and, you're doing too much. Because 9 times out of 10, the audience that you're talking to, they're going to be drawn to one of those things that you do. So if you do 3 to 5 things, that's fine, sure. But at the end of the day, you got to understand that the people that you're talking to, they're going to be attracted to one out of those 5 more than the others. So you need to know who it is that you're talking to. You need to know who it is that you're talking to. So you have to be clear. Number 2, you have to have good content. You have to have things that people want to listen to. You have to share stuff that people want to see. How are you able to do that? How do you know what people... It's okay, babe. It's okay. And how do you know what content to make? You look at other people who are in the same field that you're in. You look at other people who are giving great content. You look at other people who, your eye, they catch your eye. And whenever you see this, then girl, if you're trying to get help, call somebody you know. How about doing that? Like, real talk. My discernment is a beast, first of all. And the one thing that you can always depend on me not fooling with is a get over. Please and thank you. So you look at the content, you look at what drew you to them. You look at what attracted you to them. You look at the content that they put out, and then guess what? You can model that. You don't take somebody else's content and make it your own. You are genius enough, smart enough, and you do well enough for you to put your own out there, but maybe you needed a model to know how to position it. Maybe you needed to know what your verbiage to use or whatever, but the goodness that's in there needs to be yours. It needs to be from your genius. It needs to be from your thought process. It needs to be from your systems, your services, the products that you have, and that's what it needs to be. If a person have a question and you went and stole somebody else's content to get the people involved in you, you're not going to know how to answer them. You're going to have to ask that question to the person you stole from. Okay, so you got to be very clear. That's why it's huge that you talk to people and that you solve a problem for people that you have experience with. You got to be clear. You got to have your content. And the third C is you have to be consistent. This is how people will get to trust you. When you show up, when you say you're going to show up, they know that you're dependable. So when y'all just thinking, well, I really don't want to go on, I don't feel like it today, you just thinking it's just a live, baby, it's more than that. It's you building that trust factor. It's you showing up when you say you're going to, and in their head, they be like, oh, let me hurry up because she come on at 7. Oh, today Tuesday, she come on Tuesday. Oh, she do small business Saturdays. I might even start doing that every Saturday. Small business Saturday. She do small business Saturday. What time? Oh, she get on at 3. Oh, let me go ahead. Oh, she get on in the mornings. Let me go ahead. You are showing them that not only are you going to show up, but you're going to be clear when you do. You're going to give good content when you do, and you're going to consistently do that. Then this is the bonus tip for y'all. When you building the trust factor with your people, you got to show up in different ways as well. If you're going to be talking about a certain thing, talk about that thing consistently. Does anybody know how many times a person has to see a thing before they even show interest? Do anybody know? This is a question to you guys. How many times does a person have to see that thing that you post or that you talk about or that you share before they show interest? Come on, I am Quicks. Zay said too long. Come on, Resumes by Iris. And how plain is her handle? Resumes by Iris. You don't have to wonder what Iris do. What she do? Resumes. Right, 7 times. Before they even show interest. Before they even show interest, y'all. And that's with people that they know. That's with people that they know. So imagine how many times you got to show up. Imagine how much content you have to put out in order for people to really start building that engagement and that momentum. So if you get it, oh, I did it 7 times, anybody showed nothing. Yeah, okay, well, maybe not. Then you get to 10 and 11 and you stop. Well, baby, on that 12th time is when that momentum was going to kick off and you was going to continue on. You guys are not doing it long enough. You're looking at somebody else's track record, or you looking at what somebody else doing. You looking at their numbers, but you don't understand the consistency that they've had in other things. So in order for you to build that trust factor, you have to make sure that you are clear in who you are, who you serve, why you serve them, and how you serve them. You have to make sure that your content is good content. Like right now, guys, this was free. Don't you know that I have a masterclass that I do that people actually pay $197 to figure out how they can position themselves for profits? And I'm going over these strategies in detail. I'm breaking each and every one of them down. I'm sharing content, but I make sure that it's valuable content. Then I open it up for Q&A so they can ask me things that are specific to whatever arena that they're in. It's specific to their brand. It's specific to their offerings. But I'm on here today. I'm sharing snippets of that with you guys. It's giving you value. It's good content. You're able to implement it. You're able to show up in a way that you're wanting to show up. It's confirmation, sis. Look. You're able to confirm with other people, right? And I'm doing that for free. That's why I tell people, don't always look your nose down at free. You know what you do free for? Y'all need to remember this. FWI. Y'all put FWI in the comment bar. FWI. Put that in the comment bar. FWI. FWI. Don't forget, y'all need to go ahead and get that 7-day series on how to beat fear, because a lot of you guys, you need to unlock it. And the way that you unlock it is by facing it and moving forward. You got to move through it, good people. You got to, right? Check it out. FWI is free with intention. I do things free with an intention. What is your intention? I do it free with intention to grow my audience, to grow the know and like and trust factor. I do it with the intention on being able to give you guys great content, to be able to build up the momentum, to be able to answer you guys' questions. Why? Because once I do those things, once you guys see that I know what I'm talking about, once I show you guys receipts, once you understand that other people have listened to me, done these things, and they have success as well, you know what you'll do? You'll start asking me questions like, do you have a class for that? Nikita, do you do one-to-ones? Nikita, do you mentor people? All of these are questions that you guys have asked me before. Simply because I decided to show up consistently and give you free stuff. But my free is with intention. But at the end of the day, whenever a lot of you guys give free stuff, you're not even in front of the right audience. You're not talking to the people who actually want to purchase from you. You're not talking to the people who you can connect with and collaborate with. And you become frustrated because you feel like people are always taking, but whenever I put something out there to buy, they don't want it. Baby, you're not in front of the right audience. I don't have content. That's not true. You haven't created content, but everybody has content. Everybody has content. You just hadn't created it. Period. Michelle Thomas said, off the track comment. It's definitely off the track. I submitted a booking for you. How long does it normally take for your team to respond? Make sure you check your email and your voicemail, because we have a meeting every Monday, and with the ones that we had submitted, they reached out, so they either left you they either left you a message or either they left you an email. What type of event is it? What type of event is it, Suge? And I can tell you if I heard from it or not. You don't have to tell me all the details of it. Just tell me what type of event it is, and I'll remember if they said anything across the board. And if they didn't, then I'll make sure I tell them to go back and look. I need to find someone who does similar work so I can learn how they achieve success. Google it, Suge. Google it, because Google is going to give you the top ratings and the top people who are in that arena that you're in. A simple Google search will get you on your way. Go to YouTube, put it in YouTube as well, and the top persons in that field, they're going to come up. You guys have to do your market research, you have to do your background research, and you have to do your brand research. Market, background, and brand. Those are the 3 types of researches that you need to do. Free with intentions. That'll be like me getting on and I'm in a group with vegetarians and I'm showing them how to make the best ham for Christmas. Nobody's going to be interested. Babe, what you laughing at?
That's funny.
Comedy fundraisers for a couple of my clients. You a mess. She said we pay, FYI. You a mess. Did you remember hearing that? She said a fundraiser for her some of her clients. It's a fundraiser. Somebody put in a request for a fundraiser.
Ask her today.
I'm not gonna ask all of that on here,
I don't know.
babe.
I don't remember that.
Did nobody follow up on it?
I'm not sure. I can follow up on it though.
Oh, okay, yeah. People gonna straight get fired. And you gotta know and this is the other thing too. Let me tell y'all something. Whenever you are building, what?
I'll go through and look at it just now.
You gonna go check the checker.
I'm finna check it right now.
Okay, this is the other thing. You gotta check the checker. Check the checker, right? So when we have our meetings and we go over the dates and stuff like that, we usually do it on Mondays and we'll do it again on Thursday so we can check the any ones that come through and stuff. So we got somebody that does it, we got somebody to check and got somebody to follow up, right? But although you have somebody that may follow up, you need to have a checker. We call it checkmate, right? Check the checker, which means once Monday comes and we go over all our dates, Tuesday, the checker goes over the dates again because we're supposed to have a response. We have a response to say, I reached out, nobody called back, or either I spoke to them, they didn't have the budget for it right now, or I spoke to them and they said that they got to get back to the committee. That's usually church folk. We got to get back to the committee. Even though they got 12 people at the church, the committee probably live with you. Just holler in there and say, can we do it? They on the phone. Like, please. But anyway, whatever. You have the response, right? So the checker sees the response. So then when we go back in the boardroom on Thursday, if there's no other follow-up from that, then they call and they check again. You see what I'm saying? So you got to always make sure... you got to always make sure that you have things in place. I'm a party planner and it's hard to grow the customers. As long as you're using the word hard and as long as you got that mindset about it, it's going to be hard for you to grow the customers. I'm a party planner and I need new ways to build my customer base. You see how different that sounds, Shug? Don't use negative words when you're talking about your business. Okay? We can open it up for questions, guys. FYI, I'm a man. Okay. I build by posting ads. You still gotta have them ads in front of the right people. You gotta have targeted ads. If you put up an ad and you put that ad is gonna go in front of an audience that's not attracted to what you got to offer, you're gonna waste your money. Michael, baby, we checking the checker, huh? We checking the checker. What's up, Sam? Don't fire him. No, I ain't gonna fire Terrence, but the person before the check and the checker, like, yeah, we gotta go through some things. Hey, and then at the end of the year, we always do this too. We look at the progress. We look at what worked, what didn't work, what people like the most. You guys that have inventory and sell different stuff, I don't care how much you like that jacket. Didn't but 2 people buy it. They don't like it. Take it out your inventory. That jacket, I don't know why people be buying this one. I don't even like it like that. Guess what? 11 people love it. So the one you don't like that, I need you to buy more of those. You feel what I'm saying? You have to be able to assess what works and what don't work. We'll holler. Assess who is working and whoever ain't working, we'll holler, right? Some people you have the position to, do things for themselves. How do you build when you have spies that are watching what you do and do it because you know more people than they do? When that happens, mama, that means you talking too much. That means you letting people know about your ideas. You letting people know what you're doing before you do it. And because they know you amazing, they like, hey, let me get it, right? As far as you, if you don't talk as much as most people that do, and you putting things out there and they doing it before you, it doesn't matter. Baby, I promise you this. It does not matter because the people that you are drawn to, they will be drawn to you. You just have to be consistent in what you do. And this is the other thing. You more so ask yourself, why do I even know that they putting it out there? Why am I looking at their page or watching their page or whatever the case may be? Bump them. That's what we said in the country before we learned how to cuss. Bump them. Where'd you get that from?
I had it.
That ain't even good, baby. And it ain't even cold. I got you the other one in the freezer.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, you don't want that one. It's healthier. Any more questions? Oh, Michael said he a man. Michael M. Thomas. He said he checks his email and his spam and stuff.
Tell him I'll follow back. Ask him if it's okay if I follow back over them tomorrow morning.
I'm pretty sure it's gonna be okay because he done came on here and asked me like, what's the time frame, Nikita? You know, I don't do that now. We gotta make sure. Yep, I always use positive words. You love the info. Hey, Evelyn. Thank you. Get the loud child out of here.
Hey.
When can we connect? I would love to work with you. What kind of work you love to do with me, friend? How do you post ads for all ages? You shouldn't want to post ads for all ages. If you for everybody, you for nobody. Period. And I mean that. In business. In business, listen to me and listening to me well. There is nothing that nobody, and I do mean nobody, have the offer that everybody from all ages is going to want. Period. It's not. I'm sorry. I know we all great, we wonderful, and we amazing and all that stuff. You have a brand that I would love to collaborate on. They ain't tell me what your brand is. You feel me? No, you shouldn't want to post an ad for all people. Any advice for a paparazzi consultant? What type of advice? Ask me a specific question. We're still on target, but coach, I'm so tempted to market before I set date, learning how to stick to the plan. Stick to the plan. Stick to the plan, sis. Stick to the plan. Stacy, you silly. Talking about you speak very well. You must have never smoked weed. I try speaking on topics and forget my points. You need to write them down then. You write down what you want to talk about and you put 3 bullet points under it. 3 to 5 bullet points. Don't go over there and get on people's nerves, child. Just put your little 3 bullet point and you write out what the bullet point is. You go over the first one. Whenever you done talking about that one, when you get to the point with your mind, oh, I came to a blank. Good. Go to the next bullet point. Thank y'all for the hearts. I mean, the stars. Y'all ask me specific questions. Any advice for the food business? Baby, that's too broad. You can DM me. What advice can you give me for my interior decorating business? Listen to me, y'all. Ask me a specific question. If you have a question about your business, listen. Y'all need to learn how to ask the right questions. If you were sitting around the table with somebody that could give you your answers and give you your solution, you can't ask them a broad question like that. They're going to ignore it, or either they're not going to even entertain answering it. You have to ask a specific question. Think about your biggest pain point that you have right now. Think about your biggest pain point and you ask a question specific to that pain point. What are some ways to find and get my target group? Vocal development expert. Are you telling me that you are a vocal development expert and you're trying to find your target group? So tell me who your target group is. trying to use catchphrases to attract customers. That's cute, but that's not going to attract them. I'm telling you what they're attracted to. They're attracted to what they can see. They're attracted to what they can see. So rather you have before and afters, rather you have before and afters, rather you have testimonials, rather you have short videos, rather you have clips showing them how to do things or whatever the case may be. That's how you're going to do it. This is what I'm going to do, guys, because I got to get out of here. I'm going to come back later on. I'm going to come on the night, bay, or in the morning.
You know, either. I'm in the morning. I don't know what time.
Tomorrow's Sunday. I'm going to come back, right? I post on my social media the time and the date that I'm going to come back. And I'm going to do a part 2 to this. More part 2. I'm just going to reiterate a little bit on the know, like, and trust factor. And I'm going to open it up for questions. Okay? I'm going to open it up for questions. And I'll answer whatever questions that you guys have. I promise you I will. And matter of fact, if you put a question in here, I'm going to have those questions already written out, okay? And when I start to open it up for Q&A, before I open it up for Q&A, I'm going to read your question and I'm going to answer it. And then I open it for Q&A, okay? Okay, that's what I'm going to do. And this is the thing. I need to know... well, never mind. I'll tell you that on part 2. I think there's enough information right now anyway, right? So the know, like, and trust factor, y'all remember that, and FWI, free with intention. Those are the major things that we covered on this one right here for Small Business Saturday. I'm going to come back on, though, and I promise you guys I'll answer your questions, and then we'll close this out. I knew that it's important and it's be good information for you guys, but I didn't know it would be, I didn't know y'all was going to come with, these questions right now or whatever. I should have figured that, but I was planning on just getting on and getting off, and then I stayed a little bit too long because now we running late. Right. So if you guys enjoyed this, though, if it was good content for you, put yes in the comment bar. If this brought value to you, put yes in the comment bar. And like I said, guys, we're getting yeses. Thank y'all so much. I'm not even going to ask you if all hearts and minds are clear because I know they're not, because we got a bunch of questions in here. So, guys, make sure that you drop your questions or whatever. When I come back, I promise you, I'm going to ask every question that I see inside of here first before I open it up for Q&A. Appreciate you guys so much. Thank y'all for hopping on and tuning in. Remember, you are somebody, so am I. The Lord loves you, and so do I. Till next time, good people. Till I hop on again, I'm out.